Good morning, church, and a continued happy Pentecost to you all. Thank you for joining us for another segment of Cooking with the Rector. I will be joined today by my son, Thomas. That's Thomas. Today we are going to be making Blintzes. Blintzes are a traditional Feast of Weeks Pentecost treat from Eastern European Jewish tradition, and then of course it spread to how it came through me is I had a lot of Polish friends growing up, so we used to make these.
Plus, they're delicious.
Yes, they certainly are, Thomas. So the type we're going to make today are a cheese blintz, and for Pentecost we're going to have some red. So I made a little strawberry rhubarb sauce to go with it. But of course you could use really any kind of fruit sauce, or even just plain strawberries on top would be very yummy. So we start off with 5 tablespoons of melted butter, and we will add to it 3 eggs, 3/4 cup of milk,
Yum, milk.
a cup of water,
1.
and we have a cup and a half
Of flour.
of all-purpose flour.
You can use all-purpose flour for anything.
That's not true, but all-purpose flour works just fine for these crepes that we're making.
Yep.
And the crepes will then be cooked and then spread with our cheese mixture and some of our strawberry and rhubarb sauce to make these excellent blintzes for Pentecost. All right, so once you have this sufficiently whisked, this will need to sit in the refrigerator for an hour to rest the gluten. But thankfully I have made up some others, so I'll go and grab that. Welcome back. So our crepe dough has been in the refrigerator for at least an hour, and it can go longer. That's not a big deal. We are ready with our hot pan to make some crepes. So I use just a little ice cream scoop, but if you have just a 1/4 cup measuring cup, that'll work fine. You want to keep it at about 1/4 cup though, because you don't want them too thick. The idea is that we get a nice thin, paper thin crepe, which will be very delicious. Crepes are traditionally just cooked on one side. Some people prefer to flip it on the other side for just like 10 seconds, but that's not necessary. So you want to have the bottom part nicely browned and the top part soft though, so that the crepe will be able to be rolled easily. And certainly you're going for something very thin. I have a little system when cooking crepes of when the crepe is done to transfer it over to a cookie sheet and then eventually over to a wire rack.
Yum.
And then you can stack them up when they're cool, so you can make ahead of time. For those of you who make a lot of pancakes and everything, you're used to having a big griddle and pancakes everywhere. It's like this can be kind of a slow process. You could certainly, if you had enough, 9-inch pans or so, do multiple ones at a time. But I only have the one, so you do have to be a bit patient with it. But it is very yummy, right, Thomas?
Yes.
Yeah, so worth doing. So you see, as the edges start to turn up, you can flip it onto your pan, and you see the browning on that side, which looks good. And then you just keep up the process, dumping your quarter cup, and then spilling it around to create your crepe, your nice thin crepe.
And don't forget, when you're done with this bake, eat it. Always eat whatever you make.
Of course. Once we have our nicely browned crepes, then we can begin to fill them. And this is a sweet cheese filling made with 2 cups of ricotta, 3 ounces of cream cheese, the zest of a lemon, and a little bit of a couple tablespoons full of sugar.
So it's kind of like cannoli filling?
Yes, it's very similar to that, Thomas. And we will add to it
Some strawberry.
a little bit of strawberry. This is a strawberry rhubarb mixture that I cooked down with a little bit of sugar.
What's rhubarb?
Rhubarb is a very yummy but very tart.
I don't really like tart stuff, but I bet it is yummy.
Yeah, it goes well with things that are very sweet, like strawberries or sweet cream. Once you have it rolled up, you can get your pan going with a tablespoonful of butter.
Butter.
And cooking the crepe in the pan will put a seal on it, so you won't lose too much of your filling in the oven. And it also adds a little bit of crispness. If you are a traditional enchilada maker, you may do this at home.
Everybody loves enchiladas.
That's true. They are delicious.
Smell of melted butter, yummy.
You give it a nice browning, not too heavy, and then you can pop it in your pan and put it into a oven set preheated for 350. After cooking for 25 minutes, you can pull out your Blintzes, which look lovely and delicious. Thomas is certainly ready to try some.
Yep.
And immediately following this program, Thomas will be showing you how to make his special crepe dish, crepe tomate.
That's French for crepe Thomas.
Have a wonderful week. I hope you enjoy making some Blintzes, and the weather is not all that fantastic right now, so good day to spend inside and make some goodies. Happy Pentecost, everyone. God bless.
Bye. Hi.
What are you making today, Thomas?
I'm making, I don't know what it's called.
A crepe tomate?
A crepe tomate.
And what is that?
It's my own special version of a cake. What you need is a crepe, some Nutella, some whipped cream, best if it's homemade, a knife, and a spoon. The spoon's in here.
All right, go for it.
First, take your knife and get some Nutella, Spread it around, not all the way to the edges, because you have to fold it. This might take a while.
Looks good.
I think that's enough. And then take your whipped cream and your spoon and put the whipped cream on top of the Nutella. And then how do you fold it again? Fold it in half? I know, like this.
And then top and bottom.
Like this and this. Then flip it over.
Beautiful. Are you gonna eat that?
Yes.